Ryan the OG, and welcome to These Days. And that's These Days as in THEESE. So, how this is going to start is I'm going to explain how everything is going to happen on this podcast. So, I will be trying to bring people on just to talk about lives. I want to hear people's perspectives on the world. I'm a big people person. And I used to not be a people person when I was younger. I just was so shy, just didn't want to talk to anyone. So now we're going to try to talk to everyone. But we're going to do it behind this desk. For now, behind this desk. So we'll bring people on. We'll just talk about, things they got going on, important life events, any issues in their lives, any stories they have, just a wide range of things. And, we can talk about serious things. We can talk about funny things. It can be anything. It's just life we want to live on this podcast. So there's usually a schedule to most podcasts. There's not going to be a schedule for this. It's going to be whenever I have time to upload a podcast. And getting people on, is tough. So I, can just sit behind this desk and just talk, But let's bring our first guest on. Please help me welcome our first guest, Ryan Hess. Oh, drink for me? Thanks, man. Oh, this is a comfy chair. All right. So what would you like to know? Just let the audience know about what you got going on in your life. All right. So, start by taking a drink. Cheers. All right. So, I was born in Houston, Texas. And I was adopted at about 3 months old. I've lived in Wisconsin my whole life then. I got some of the best parents, ever out there. Thankfully, they got me. But I think I've been through some stuff. So let's take it back to high school. High school's tough. I wasn't all there. And why I bring it back to high school is because I don't really have any memories before that. I've kind of lost all my memories. I live them through, videotapes, seeing myself as a kid. It's all right. I just sucks that I can't remember that stuff. I can remember a lot more stuff now, which is pretty good, but there's nothing I can do about that. So high school, yeah. Um, so I was prescribed Adderall at a young age for focusing, and I'm not sure if it helped or not, but I do know that it did not help in high school. And it was like the start of my depression. And I couldn't focus. I was getting angry. And it was just a hard time. And then I started taking more and more Adderall because I didn't think it was working or something. And it was just kind of killing my brain. I had friends back then, but not many. It was just a very small circle. And it was a good thing they were there for me. Because I don't know what high school would have been like without them. But the Adderall, it messed me up. And, I took it up to junior year of high school, and then I just went cold turkey. I couldn't do anymore. It was killing me. I could feel it. So I had lasting effects from that. And, I think I still have effects from it. I kind of, like, it's just some days, you feel like some of the effects from it, like not what the pill did, but like the after effects. And it's not fun. It kind of goes hand in hand with the paranoia that I have, and I just kind of try to ignore it the best I can, I guess. But that was a big thing. It was a big moment. I'd say the next, big thing in my life, was falling for a person that didn't necessarily want me in any way, I don't think. They showed signs, but just never the interest. And I really went off the rails. Because it just seemed like we were together, but we weren't, and they ended up with someone else. And I just I lost myself even harder because I started drinking. I was old enough to drink then, and just drank Heineken and Korbel, and lots of it. And the depression got worse, way worse. I was, hurting myself, with blades. I never went for like any major arteries or anything, but there's, you can probably still see the scars. I was just trying to It wasn't for attention. It was just to feel something else. And I couldn't feel it. Like I would do it and I still wouldn't feel anything. So then I moved to Madison. Got a new job. Just got out of that place. Just because memories. You know, I love my parents and they live there. And I still visit them. But I just don't want to be in that area anymore. Just bad memories. So I came down here and you know, work was different. You know, I worked a whole bunch of different jobs. But before all that, I had gotten in a car accident. And it wasn't my fault. I was on the interstate and I was trying to get to further south Wisconsin to sell like a VR or something. And I was with a friend. And going down there, I was driving, there was just construction. And, you know, a decent amount of traffic. And I just remember thinking to myself, was that a face? And it was. I ran over a person's body on the interstate. And it wasn't my fault. That's what the cops told me. And my friend didn't see it, thankfully. But I went over and the car started overheating. And I didn't think about stopping on the interstate because I thought that was worse. So I got off on the first exit I could just to park somewhere. And I checked the front of my car underneath. And I could see it. It was blood underneath the car. And I could just feel my heart racing. And I called the cops. And I told them what happened. And I was like, I think I ran over a person. And then they finally arrived and they said, yeah, you did. But, it wasn't your fault. They were ejected out of their vehicle in the median into your lane. And just everything just kind of happened, And I just think, what if they were still alive when I hit them? Or what if they died before? Some of this still runs through, and it's just, I got PTSD from it. I get really nervous sometimes when I'm driving. Most of the time I'm pretty good, but it happens. So yeah, it was before I moved to Madison, and then I moved to Madison, and then I fell in love again. Right. And this one was way worse. I eventually got I got engaged to this girl, but it's not a thing anymore. I thought everything was fine. I thought everything was be good, but there's a lot of driving around to pick her up. I didn't know at the time. I was too naive. But eventually, I found out. She was doing hard drugs. It messed up her mind, but it's just how she treated me then and how everything was. It hurt my soul. So it was abusive, mentally and physically. I never hurt her. I just, I wanted the relationship to work, and I tried to do everything I could. I spent so much money and just time to do everything, have a place to live, get her what she needed. But she kept just leaving. Just doesn't say anything, just, I come home and then she's just gone for weeks. And then she decides to want to come back. And I kept taking her back. And I don't know why I did that. It just was worse and worse on my mental health. And like doorbells get me. People yelling, that gets to me. It's hard things, over time. They really eat away, at the mind. But I mean, in the end, everything has kind of built me up. For the better, and it's just it was just hard to go through all that. And I wouldn't want to go through it again, but I love who I am now. And I want to keep going. I want to keep living. I don't want to stop. And I got more friends now, and I'm happy. I've met people. But yeah, things, things, things are good now. I got a nice place, good job, good family, good friends. I just keep pushing forward, doing what I have to try to make every day, exciting for myself. Because, I've gotten over my depression. I've gotten through all of it. And I'm just here, I just want to live. Yeah. So that's my recommendation to people, just keep going, don't stop. Things might get hard. You might lose people in your life. But but just don't quit on yourself. You know, keep pushing for you and for the people that love you. Just never stop. Everything happens for a reason. All right. Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. You know what? Cheers to you. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Well, that's what I mean when we talk about life here. You know, Ryan's a great example of that. And it didn't have to be so deep, you know. He could have done anything, but it's what he wanted to talk about. So, you know, we'll listen, because that's what we do here. And if, you know, people want advice, you know, we'll try to give it, you know, the best of our abilities. Yeah, that's deep. So, you know, we'll, you know, try to have guests as much as possible here again. And, you know, we'll do other things on here, you know, not just, you know, talking about life. We'll, you know, drink, eat food. It's not about talking. It's about connecting, you know, having a good time. So, on that note, let's do a little unboxing here. You know, we got some mail. So why not do, you know, a little bit of unboxing? All right, so this one. Oh, would you look at this? Oh, if we can get it open. All right. We got a lovely pizza hat with a bite taken out of it. So when we have pizza on this show, we can bring out this bad boy. Let's see. We got some brain rot trading cards. I think, it's Italian brain rot. I think we'll save this for another guest. All right. We got one more package here. I really need the scissors. We got it. do we think? Got the Obafemi going on. It's one of my favorite WWE wrestlers. All right, well, that's our unboxing, you know. So, go back to some drinking. Today we're drinking Eagle Park. It's the brewery. I believe it's out of Milwaukee. Yeah, Eagle Park Brewing Company. No, Muskego, Wisconsin. All right. And this is Specto Cooler. It's like the whole kind of like Ghostbusters thing. I think that's pretty cool. It's really good. It's a seltzer. It's like a fruity juice seltzer, basically. And they got 2 different kinds of flavors. Or, I guess the same flavor, but they have a regular one like this, and they have a THC version. Also good. So that's what we're on today. So, in daily things, it's hot as balls out. And it's not even that bad. But, you know, 90, it says it's like 90 degrees, I think, out. But then, you know, I detail cars all day. So I'm in a shop, and then it's humid in there. So I'm just like sweating. But, you know, I stay hydrated. So I don't have to worry about it, you know. I think like a couple years ago, you know, I wasn't staying that hydrated, so I was like getting like heat stroke and stuff. It was bad. It was just killing me. But now I'm fine with it, you know. Especially if I think I want to move to Florida, then I gotta get used to humider climates, you know, warmer, humid. And I think I can endure it. But we'll see, you know, if I ever get there. Because, you know, it was Wisconsin right now. Nothing against Wisconsin. I just don't like snow. I love looking at it, you know, playing it. But just driving in it, oh, God, no. And the ice on the roads, no way. I don't want to do that. That's not for me. Especially like, oh, you're at work right now, and now it's an ice storm. Great. I got to drive home in this. And I don't know if the roads are good. And I don't know if the drivers are good either. It's the biggest thing is like the unpredictability of drivers out there. That's not fun. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, you know. Got some things to take care of first, and then, you know, go from there. So yeah, this was our first episode, and again, I don't know, you know, when the next episode will be, and you know, if I can get someone on or not. If not, you know, I'll just keep talking, you know, about whatever's going on. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm Ryan the OG. Thanks for coming to These Days.